thinking, well, forget it. I know what you're planning, you'll regret it. I know who they are and where they've been, exactly what they're hoping to be. They think they've been there, done that, seen it all, that's all they can see. Well, wait till they get a load of me. Been there, done that, seen it all, that's all they can see. Well, wait till they get a load of me. They think they've been there, done that, seen it all, that's all they can see. Well, wait till they get a load of me. Been there, done that, seen it all, that's all they can see. Well, wait till they get a load of me. They think they've been there, done that, seen it all, that's all they can see. Well, wait till they get a load of me.
Joker War, not to be confused with any other wars centered around the Joker, is a 6-issue Batman series from James Tynion IV and Jorge Jimenez. It is a modern big Joker story. Have you ever read a modern big Joker story? Then you've basically read this story. The Gotham is thrown into chaos, Batman pushes himself past his limits, Batman tries to solve everything on his own, and then he realizes he can't solve everything on his own, so he calls in the family, and then he makes a big speech to the family about how he shouldn't have kept them away for so long, and he's gonna be better from now. He's gonna be a better Batman from now on, which, quite frankly, is an apology as meaningless as one from BoJack Horseman at this point.
I'm sorry, all right? I screwed up. I know I screwed up. I don't know why.
Oh, great. Of course. Here it comes. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing shitty things and then feel bad about yourself like that makes it okay. You need to be better.
Joker's gonna make a lot of speeches about how only he understands the true face of Gotham. And then there's gonna be a big dramatic bit at the end where it's like, oh, is this it? Is this when Batman's finally gonna be pushed too far? Is he finally gonna kill the Joker? No, he's never gonna kill the Joker. Come on, they do that every story. It never fucking happens. Look, I like Tynion. I'm a big fan of his detective run. I enjoy Backstagers. Hell, the little tie-in story he wrote for Death Metal, the one about Owlman, the only part of Death Metal that was worth the paper it was printed on, quite frankly. But even him, a guy I like, cannot make me care about a big Joker story in the year 2021. Or whatever year it was that this story came out. Look, I don't read comics when they come out. I read comics when they're on a steep discount on Comixology. I ain't some kind of Bruce Wayne billionaire that can be dropping $5.99 on a goddamn comic book multiple times a week. Now, I have heard the theory that this was originally meant to be a big modern Ra's al Ghul story, but DC Editorial made Tynion change it so that they could have a big Joker story to advertise as the 100th issue of the relaunched Batman. However, if that theory has been confirmed by Tynion, then he did it behind a fairly expensive paywall. And as mentioned before, I ain't no Bruce Wayne billionaire. I mean, $7 US? That's like 10 Australian dollars. Do you know what you could get for 10 Australian dollars? You could get this second-hand copy of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Look at this thing. $10, and it's got 40 hours of gameplay, apparently. Is that far too many hours of gameplay for one game to have? Yes. Is it a good bargain for $10? Yes. And I don't think Tynion's blog has 40 hours of gameplay. It's got no hours of gameplay content because it's not a... You understand the point I'm making. The real problem with this comic is that, as I already outlined, you already know everything that's gonna happen in it before you've even read it. The Gotham's gonna be plunged into chaos, just like in Endgame. And also just like in City of Bane. A big villain takes over the city story that happened like 10 issues before this one. Joker's gonna dig up one of Batman's family members and, you know, use the corpse to just, like, fuck with him. Just like in Endgame. There's gonna be a big, ooh, is Batman gonna kill the Joker for real this time bit? You know, just like in Endgame. And The Dark Knight Returns, and The Killing Joke, and Death in the Family, and Death of the Family. And of course, Joker's gonna make a big speech about, oh, the nature of society, and only he truly understands the real nature of the people of Gotham. just like every Joker story you've seen for 20 plus years.
I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
There are no Joker stories you can tell that have not been done before. All the stories have been told. There are no original Joker stories left. Except for my Joker story. Okay, so here's the deal. So it starts with, like, there's a big climactic, like, confrontation between Batman and the Joker. I'm talking, like, Dark Knight Returns, ooh, this is it, the final fight shit, right? And when they're fighting, during the fight, they're, you know, going at it, and Joker, he falls off the ledge, or into the cave, or in a reservoir, whatever they're fighting on, doesn't matter. Point is, Joker falls to his death, died, he's dead, he's not coming back, no more Joker. And then 2 months later, we are introduced to a new villain, because a new character has come to town to continue the legacy of Joker's evil. We meet Joker 2! Now, obviously, Joker 2 is just Joker wearing a fake mustache and doing a bad Italian accent. And, like, Batman knows that immediately. He's not fooled for a second. It's clearly just the Joker, pretending to be a new dude. But Joker will not admit that. Like, it's so obvious. No one's being fooled by this. But he will not break his stupid bit. He just keeps doing this shitty bit that no one thinks is funny, but he won't break from it. And over the course of the story, Batman is getting more and more pissed off and just pushed further and further to his breaking point. And at the end of the story, like, there's another big, you know, final confrontation between Batman and Joker 2. They're on a rooftop. It's probably the rooftop of the Monarch Theater, because every big modern Batman story they all have to go back to the Monarch Theater for it never gets demolished or rebuilt for some reason. Anyway, the point is, they're on the roof of the Monarch, it's like, there's lightning everywhere, there's all this John Romita Jr. ass rain pouring down, it's dramatic as hell, and Batman, he's all like, Joker, this ends tonight. And Joker, he's like, a Joker? Who is the Joker? I'm the Joker too! And Batman, he's like, Joker, you didn't even remember to put on your shitty mustache this time. And Joker's like, Mamma mia! And Batman, he's like, Joker, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you don't stop doing that bit. And then, like, Batman just, he's pushed too far. He snaps, he dives forward. He just, like, grabs Joker by the throat. He starts strangling him. He just can't put up with a shitty bit anymore. It breaks the Joker's neck. The Joker, he's dead. He dies. And as he dies, whatever is inside of him, it rustles as it leaves, and we hear one final whispered, that's a spicy meatball. And the Joker dies. But there's one more twist, of course, because the virus that the Joker has hidden in his heart, now that he's dead, it leaves him, and it enters into Batman. And the virus that the Joker has created, it starts changing Batman over, like, the period of months, changing him slowly, painfully. It twists him until he becomes the most dark and dangerous creature in the multiverse. The Batman Who Laughs. 2! Mamma mia! I'm the Batman Who Laughs too! I'm making the spaghetti. I've ruined the 50-issue run of the Justice League. Or did you think the Justice League story was gonna be about fighting Perpetua because she was the villain of the whole run until then? No, surprise! It's actually about fighting me, the Batman Who Laughs too. But now I have the powers of the Dr. Manhattan. Mamma mia! Let's go! I'm a Wario! I'm gonna win! Mario! I believe it was comic book critic and noted sports anime enthusiast Rivesh who first brought to my attention the fact that there's only been 2 good Joker stories in the last decade. The Joker War does not change those stats. But because this is Tynion, and Tynion is still a good writer, there are good things to like about this story. They're not really things that are particularly related to the Joker. There's the Underbroker, for instance, the guy who handles all the finances and investments for the supervillains of Gotham, and he wears a bright red suit and a fucking chrome silver face mask, because of course he does, and his bank is located in a secret hideout in the sewers of Gotham, and it's very lavish. Look, if you're gonna operate in Gotham, you need to operate at 200%. This is Gotham. It's a weird town. If nothing else, Tynion, He's making Gotham into a big, weird town that creates things like your Batmans and your Jokers and your Anarchies, your Clock Kings. Oh, thinking about Anarchy. Anarchy sucks so fucking hard. Now, yes, technically, the Underbroker was from an earlier Tynion story. But, you know, this is kind of brought it back. This is showing that the Underbroker, he's not just the done-in-one character. He can be part of the ongoing tapestry of the Batman universe. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the best thing about this story. It is introducing new elements to the Batman world. I mean, yes, it's using the same old tired Joker stories, but at least it's bringing new things. New things like this asshole. Look at him. Look at this MCR looking motherfucker. This Green Day son of a bitch. This Fallout Boy douchebag. I love him. Look at him. He's the logical endpoint of Gotham, of these constant Joker attacks on the city. What do you end up with? You end up with a teen who's gonna turn into a Punisher, but for clowns. Love him. The only thing that gives me pause is that I have been told that a lot of people consider him to be like a kind of Batman version of one of those weird dogs from Achewood. I think Roast Beef or Ray. Apparently the one that's depressed. I don't know. I have tried. I have tried to get Achewood. And like, I've tried multiple times. I cannot get it. I do not get Achewood. I don't understand it. It is my personal hole in things. It is the piece that doesn't fit of comics criticism circles for me.
One thing's bothering me about all this.
This guy, the big wheel CEO, clever guy.
She's a PhD, LMNOP, whole alphabet after her name. Professor.
All smart people, all of them.
Read an Achewood. This story also introduces Punchline, the Joker's new girlfriend, lieutenant, henchman, but I don't really have anything for her. She's just Harley Quinn, but instead of being all like deviant art, lol, random, she's all deviant art, lol, violence. She gets a bit interesting bit in the epilogue with her, and maybe interesting things will develop with her after this story. But as of this story, I don't know, she could have been replaced with any interchangeable clown goon. I just felt like she didn't really add anything. But, you know, 2 for 3 on new characters. The Joker War is the standard modern Joker story you've heard 1,000 times before, but Tynion, he's a good enough writer that even though he's telling you a story you've heard so many times, he at least has his own unique way of telling it that makes it, you know, if not a good story, you know, an enjoyable, fun story. Plus Jorge Jimenez is there, and Jimenez is killing it on every fucking page. Also, the two of them together managed to pull off the rarest of modern Batman feats, a I am Batman scene that doesn't make me want to roll my eyes so hard that they detach from their optical nerves, fall out of my fucking sockets, and roll across the floor. In conclusion, Joker War, it feels like the thing that happens in every major, you know, modern comics run, where at some point the story's going to get interrupted for some event or crossover or tie-in that, yeah, it feels like maybe the writer doesn't really want to be doing, and it's kind of derailing things a bit. But, you know, it's still a part of the run. The Joker War is the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul of the Tynion run. I hope there's no other parts that feel more like the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul than this one. And, you know, being the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul this run, it's fine. Ultimately, this comic is fine. And to be honest, I would take a fine Tynion comic over a good Williamson comic any day of the week.
You'd like to know the secrets, well, now wouldn't you boys? Well, where does it get all those wonderful toys? You'd like to know the secrets, well, now wouldn't you boys? Well, where does it get all those wonderful toys?
Oh, also, before he dies, there's like a story where Joker 2 teams up with Lex Luthor 2, and Joker 2 is all like, Hey, Lex Luthor too, let's go commit the crimes. And Lex Luthor too, he's like,
Hey, Joker 2, you know any smokes, mate? I'm fucking killed for a dollar, you know what I'm saying, mate?